Donald Trump has once again triumphed over transparency and accountability, this time by destroying the first ever nationwide database tracking misconduct by federal police officers. In so doing, he defeated a resource that experts say improved public safety by helping to prevent bad officers from abusing their constituents in one area and then just being moved over to the next town and rehired, something that is wildly common. And that, of course, is the point. Donald Trump doesn't want them to lose out on these job opportunities. These bad cops, these violent cops, he stands by them. Unless they try to stop one of his mobs from getting into the Capitol, then you could tear their head off with your bare hands if you want. But until that happens, he stands by them. And so that's not surprising. There is one surprising part to this, and a bit ironic too. It was Trump who proposed this database back in 2020. Which is shocking to me. So this was in the wake of the police killing of George Floyd. Now, we can't give him too much credit. He didn't actually set it up. It wasn't until 2 years later when Joe Biden signed an executive order to establish the National Law Enforcement Accountability Database. And it was Trump who killed the thing that he advocated for in the first place. And so because this was revoked, it laid out steps to improve use of force standards and research, ensuring appropriate use of body cameras, required anti-bias training, which I imagine is the big problem from the point of view of Donald Trump. And it also created that misconduct database. It banned the use of chokeholds and restraints on the carotid artery unless deadly force is authorized. It also restricted the use of no-knock entries, which has resulted in horrible outcomes many times. It ensured timely and thorough investigations and consistent discipline. So that leads to the question, why are you killing this thing? It's good. It's good for everyone. It's good for cops, their reputation. They're not saying. Shut up, peasant. You don't get to know why we destroy these things we advocated for. Daria, I'm sure you have thoughts about this. What do you make of it?
Yeah, so I have 3 ideas for why they got rid of this. The first one has to do with like political, ideological differences. And I think mainly that stems from the fact that conservatives want this small G government. This database was federal. They want to give more power back to the states. That's kind of their whole thing with trying to get rid of these executive agencies. It kind of feeds into their whole Project 2025 playbook. The second is obviously Joe Biden signed it into law, and Trump doesn't like Joe Biden and is trying to erase any legacy that he has whatsoever. So this is just like an added got ya at Joe Biden. And then the third is we see this whole backlash with DEI. We put in so many things during George Floyd with Target, with all different types of organizations, and now they're rolling them all back. So this could all just be considered a part of the rollback. And while campaigning, Trump was very clear that he was pro-police. He talked about giving them absolute immunity in some cases. So all of this tracks with what he's been saying, and I'm not surprised by any of it.
Yeah, I agree. That's certainly how we campaign. I mean, again, we should acknowledge that if those cops decide to do their job and like protect the Capitol, well then no, he's not standing by them. You could literally take a Trump flagpole and you could bash in their head, you could mace them, you could stun gun them, you could try to take their gun away, which happened, and he'll call you a patriot. He'll say that you're the best sort of American. And those people who assaulted, tried to murder cops with their bare hands, with weapons as well, he pardoned them. He let them walk. And so just a reminder that not just to the MAGA, but to the cops as well. Yes, he does stand by you almost always, unless you stand against him. Even if you're doing your duty, following your conscience, following the Constitution, protecting it, then he's not going to stand by you. But it's possible. I don't know exactly where the police union stood on this. I imagine they were against a lot of this. They don't want to be regulated, and so maybe this is paying them back for endorsing him once again, even though he was planning to pardon those who tried to kill cops and resulted in many of them being injured and dying. So I don't know, but again, like when you claim that your administration is in favor of like stability, peace, then why are you leading to more chaos? Why are you protecting cops who've broken the law, who've violated their rules and their training? Why would you want those cops to still be out there? It doesn't make any sense based on how he campaigned, but it does make a certain sense once you know who Donald Trump and his movement are. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.